Divorce rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men. Terrible that you would applaud that.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump. So, Kat, they know that they're having a hard time with men.
Right.
Doesn't seem like this is the right strategy.
No.
She basically says that they're hurting women by voting for Trump.
But I think they don't understand that where it comes from in the first place is that people are sick of being told how bad they are and talked down to, and you know, the condescension doesn't work. None of what they're doing.
The lights hit, the audience buzzed, and Barack Obama walked in with that signature calm smile, expecting another victory lap. But he didn't know Greg Gutfeld was waiting, armed with a razor-sharp monologue. Within seconds, the room shifted. Jokes cut through the air like glass shattering under pressure, and Obama's carefully polished legacy was suddenly on trial. What started as a friendly stage turned into a battlefield. He came to defend his cool, but Gutfeld came to destroy the myth. And trust me, ye to bas shuruat thi.
President Obama took another stand against evil yesterday, lashing out at ISIS, pernicious gang crime and human rights abuses in left-wing dictatorships like Venezuela and Cuba. I was kidding. He went after Fox News again.
For years, Barack Obama was treated like the Beyoncé of politics. Flawless, untouchable, the man who turned even a tan suit into breaking news. His charisma sold hope like it was bottled and printed on campaign posters. But behind the calm smile and smooth speeches, Gutfeld saw something else, cracks in the legend. Because image can hypnotize, but truth always demands its day in court. And when the cameras rolled, Gutfeld made sure the mask slipped. Stay with me. The real story hasn't even started yet.
It is a constant menu. They will find, like, folks who make me mad.
So let's analyze. He says Fox is out of its way to locate and then demonize the poor. For what reason? So we can kill and eat them? His criticism is absurd because he never suggests a motive. FNC is always focused on policies that keep the poor, not the poor themselves. And that's scary to progressives like Obama who fear that their ideology will be exposed as the culprit behind so much present misery. Identity politics, welfare policies, and the white liberal addiction to social intervention has helped replace enterprise with entitlement. And that has hurt the poor more than street drugs or police brutality.
Coolness can sell an image, but it can't hide reality forever. That's where Greg Gutfeld came charging in, wielding sarcasm like a chainsaw through Obama's carefully curated brand. Obama built his presidency on one thing: presentation. He was America's cool dad, the man who promised to grill burgers in the backyard while fixing the economy by Monday. But Gutfeld stripped away the polish and showed audiences the messy truth underneath. The question wasn't whether Obama could sell a vision. It was whether that vision ever existed.
The FNC is critical of such policies. Obama portrays it as critical of people. It's to save his beliefs from the humiliation they so richly deserve. And remember, it wasn't FNC who ginned up class warfare.
I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
We've got to ask the wealthiest Americans and biggest corporations to pay their fair share. This is the land of opportunity. That's great.
Obama's speeches were timed like Netflix cliffhangers. The cadence, the pauses, the slow build to hope. But Gutfeld wasn't hypnotized. He tore through the showmanship and revealed contradictions stacked higher than Obamacare paperwork. And he didn't need charts, graphs, or endless policy lectures. He needed one perfectly timed punchline. And suddenly, the image of Professor Cool Obama started crumbling like a stale cookie. What came next turned political theater into primetime suspense.
Hell, way back when, even Obama had the stones to hit bin Laden. And remember who told him not to do it? Yep, Biden. Obama gave him a glass of milk and told him to sit down, which is a terrible comment. Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum.
Obama walked into office on the wings of a Nobel Peace Prize before he'd even done anything. Imagine being named Employee of the Year on your first day at work before you've even found the restroom. But fast forward a few years, and that Peace Prize aged worse than milk in the Sahara. Libya burned, Syria collapsed, drone strikes multiplied like wildfire. Gutfeld didn't need a policy paper to rip this apart. He just pointed at the absurdity. The anti-war president ended up with a highlight reel of military interventions that made Bush look like a yoga instructor. And if you think that was explosive, wait till you see what came next.
Abdication of responsibility embraces the toxic retribution of Occupy Wall Street, there goes my tongue, which seeks equality by crushing everyone under one boot. As a class warrior, that's Obama's Common Core. Finally, he says we need to change the way the media reports.
Obama promised a recovery, but the comeback dragged like a sloth on a treadmill. His speeches painted a picture of Silicon Valley 2.0, but Gutfeld ripped through the illusion with jokes grounded in hard reality. The economic revival looked amazing in the commercials, but in practice, it worked about as well as a broken infomercial gadget. And then came Obamacare, marketed as a flawless healthcare revolution, delivered like a crashed website on launch day. Gutfeld didn't exaggerate. He didn't need to. The punchlines wrote themselves. But here's the kicker. Obama's real power wasn't policy. It was branding.
I think Obama would take any responsibility if the good times were actually bad times. So it's like when you when somebody comes into work and says, "Oh, that restaurant was amazing. I told you that restaurant was going to be great." But then if they came in and said they had food poisoning, I didn't say it was that good. So people only take credit. They never take responsibility. You of all people should know that, Kat.
Right.
It's the story of your life.
All I do is take credit for the Greg Gutfeld show, Saturday nights at 10 p.m.
You take no responsibility for the horrible things you do.
At some point, Obama's presidency stopped feeling like politics and started playing like Hollywood cinema. The late-night shows, the March Madness brackets, the Spotify playlists. Obama was less commander-in-chief and more cultural influencer. But Gutfeld cut deep where it hurt most. Charisma can't fix gas prices, and branding doesn't build jobs. By the end of Obama's 8 years, Democrats had lost over 1,000 seats nationwide. Obama walked off stage smiling, Netflix deal in hand, while his party looked like the wreckage of a frat party gone wrong. And that's when Gutfeld twisted the knife even deeper.
Another interesting tweet you had recently was fracking is weaning us off foreign oil. But who's counting? Not Obama.
Did I tweet that?
Yes, you
did. That doesn't sound like me.
You did.
There's no punchline?
No, I think not Obama was the punchline.
Oh, really? Yeah, I always look at fracking as a solution to a number of issues. Jobs, creates jobs, eases your dependence off of crazy people. That's good, and you have a lot of energy for the rest of your life. It's like, how could this be bad?
Even today, the myth of Obama refuses to die. He floats above politics, delivering speeches, endorsing candidates, and acting like the elder statesman. But Gutfeld flips the narrative, painting him as the guy who shows up to a college party years after graduating, still wearing his varsity jacket, reminding everyone of his glory days. Obama's brand was cool, but cool fades fast when the results don't match the headlines. The truth is brutal. Obama's legacy was a trailer for a blockbuster movie that never actually delivered. And when the cameras zoomed in, the illusion cracked wide open.
But you have cheap natural gas, but he is terrified of, I think, the environmentalist factions in his own party.
Being
you can't
cool.
say, yeah, being not cool. That's what it is.
Thank you.
That was a good heckle.
Heckle.
Yeah, but that's true. No, he's scared. He is scared of like, yeah. That's part of the problem. Is environmentalism is perceived as a cool thing, even if you're wrong.
Obama sold himself as the healer-in-chief, the man who would unite America. But by the time he left, the country looked like a family locked in a reality TV feud, protests raging, cities burning, racial tensions exploding. Gutfeld turned that irony into comedy gold. the great unifier, often poured fuel on the fire, and yet the media treated him like a saint descending from Olympus. Every wave, every joke, every bracket prediction became breaking news. Gutfeld didn't rant. He didn't scream. He just held up the contradictions and let the silence in the room say the rest.
The Trump administration today pushing back hard on former President Obama's assertion that he is the reason the economy is doing so well and not the current occupant of the White House. The fight started yesterday when 44 tweeted somewhat out of left field, quote, 11 years ago today, near the bottom of the worst recession in generations, I signed the Recovery Act, paving the way for more than a decade of economic growth and the longest streak of job creation in American history.
The more the media polished Obama's image, the easier it became for Gutfeld to scratch it. Journalists acted less like watchdogs and more like fan club presidents, cheering every playlist drop and bracket pick while ignoring deeper cracks. Obama faced scandals that would have destroyed any other politician, but the headlines stayed soft. Gutfeld skewered the double standard with surgical precision, turning late-night comedy into a weapon. And beneath the pop culture glow, the Democratic Party crumbled like a sandcastle at high tide.
So, does this matter?
Well, there's two weird things about this. It's weird Obama's doing this while all this other stuff is going on.
Right.
Like, shouldn't he be helping out Joe?
Right.
Like, he totally ghosts Joe. I always say that he's like the guy, whenever you go to a party with somebody that you don't like and you try to lose them at the party, that's what Obama has done to Joe. He's lost them at the party, and now he's moving on, and then he tweets, and then you find out that he's tweeting about something else while you're at the party. And it's just, I think it's kind of mean to Joe. The second thing is that it's part of that I told you mechanism that only happens when things are good.
Obama's star burned bright, but behind the glow, his party collapsed like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Gutfeld framed it perfectly. Obama strutted out of the White House with a Hollywood smile and a Netflix contract, while Democrats were left counting political body bags. And then there was Obamacare, Obama's crown jewel. Gutfeld compared it to buying the latest iPhone and realizing it's a knockoff from a back alley. The rollout failed, premiums spiked. And yet, Obama's charisma hypnotized audiences into forgetting the chaos. It wasn't politics anymore. It was performance art with nuclear codes.
Fact. Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions.
Kennedy, just watching that now, so that was 2011. Him and Trump are saying exactly the same thing, but he's not saying it as well. It's like he wasn't having fun with it.
No, but it's like even the name of it. He was like, and we're going to call it the cost-cutting commission because Joe Biden is going to be in charge, and everyone knows you don't mess.
Obama leaned into celebrity like no president before him, from NBA courtside shots to late-night comedy sketches. But Gutfeld exposes the trade-off. The more Obama chased the spotlight, the more his failures hid in the shadows. He became the pop culture president, selling vibes instead of results. Gutfeld peels back the glossy poster and shows the messy construction site behind it. Obama's legacy? A perfectly edited trailer for a movie that never matched the hype. The audience left, entertained but unsatisfied, waiting for a sequel that may never come. And trust me, Gutfeld makes sure you don't forget